So about a few months ago, I made an update about my Project Eden's Garden playthrough. I noticed that it's much easier to make speed paint videos more than commentary videos, but that's fine. It's good to put the effort into editing. I've also been working on my Danganronpa YouTubers Don't Touch That Dial, mainly just making art assets. Anyway, let's head to the trial. Okay, I'm recording now, so it's good.
Let's begin with a brief explanation of the class trial. The objective here is simple. Explain how the murder took place.
The phrase "took place" is very broad.
Investigation, you will argue what you believe happened to the victim. Should you all agree on the right answer, you will be free to leave this place. Should you all agree on the wrong answer, well, you'll find out. That's all there is to it. Have fun, everybody.
Somebody, get me out of here.
If this is something we must discuss, I know a good place to start.
Get me out of here, 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 get me out of here.
Oh, this is from the trailer.
Get me out of here, get me out of here! Ah! Somebody get me out of here!
Wait, what? Chris is dead.
What happened to her?
I love Elisa's voice acting.
Shit. They fried her brain!
Calm down, it's only a shock. She won't suffer any
Is Cassidy the,
permanent side effects.
what's the word?
If I wanted to
Comedic
see
relief
the
now?
brain dead bicker, I'd just turn on the telly. On that note, please, carry on.
The people running this place aren't playing around.
As you were saying, Wolfgang?
Right. The way I see it, the objective of this
By the way, can I get like a seat with this thing? I'm just gonna be an onlooker. It's only fair.
Oh, I thought he was going to say that his legs are tired.
Not going to contribute?
What am I even supposed to do?
Put your detective hat on, buddy. We're here to solve a mystery.
Interesting. Someone feels like they can't
You murdered
contribute.
that dummy chick, right?
Not who murdered her, how they murdered her.
Did that tablet not explain it?
It listed her wounds, yes, but it didn't explain how they were inflicted.
Probably because it's so obvious.
Why do we have to figure out how they were inflicted, though?
But, Miss Amber,
Wouldn't
you
it
didn't
basically
even
just
read
be
the
like,
tablet.
I grab the knife,
don't have
stab.
Would you look at that? A debate's already underway.
You were just arms crossed. Oh, Grace is dead. These guys are clearly confused. I need to stop them before they arrive to the wrong conclusion. Oh gosh, did you hear that? That's the sound of the non-stop debate approaching. Don't jump to too many conclusions. Wait, does it mean that they'll get the whole thing wrong, or they get something right and saying, your reward is not dying for now?
The mystery was never about who killed Kara, but how she died.
Is that true?
Objection! It's obvious what the murder weapon was.
I didn't get a good look at the crime scene, but the body was pretty bloody.
And what could have spilt that blood besides that big scary gun?
Ah, that's right. There was a gun.
You hear that, liar man? She agrees.
Hey, for the trailer!
The mystery was never about who.
The body was
What could have spilt that blood besides that big scary gun?
No, that's wrong!
No, that's wrong. There wasn't no gun. Oh yeah, there was a gun.
Cassidy, can you stop butting in? You barely investigated the crime scene to begin with.
They were telling the truth.
What? I searched that place from top to bottom.
All right,
Cassidy
then
lying.
tell me, how was a fully loaded assault rifle used as the murder weapon?
That's easy. It wasn't. Obviously, the shooter reloaded their gun to full capacity. Any smart shooter could tell you that. Right, Desmond?
I really like Cassidy.
Why are you bringing me into this?
Except, the victim suffered multiple stab wounds to the torso. If the gun was fired, not only should the body have had bullet wounds, but there would be shell casings from the fired bullets. We
Oh,
saw neither at
shell
the crime scene.
casings.
Details.
Well, the
If
culprit
the
could
gun
pick them
didn't
up.
do that, chicken, what was the actual murder weapon?
The murder weapon is the bucket. No, it's the knife.
I got it.
Oh, I love the I got it sprite.
The bloody knife. It's just so blatantly obvious. It was literally right next to the victim's body.
Cam's razor gotta ruin everything.
Oscam's razor?
Both the knife and the rifle were present at the crime scene, but only the knife was used.
Kind of weird, choosing the inferior weapon.
Nothing beats the sting of a sharpened blade.
If the killer didn't use the rifle, why was it at the crime scene?
Maybe it came from inside the closet.
Kai's still participating.
Don't
I like
see
it.
why you'd be storing a gun in a janitor's closet.
Man, I don't know. What if it's not even related to the murder?
Of course it's related. It's covered in blood.
True.
Oh no. Everyone's starting to yell.
Don't worry, Diana. The debate is getting out of control fast. I need to say something.
To reiterate, both the rifle and the knife were next to the victim's body.
That is true.
They opted for the knife. Odd choice.
I bet that gun didn't even work. These days, it's all about aesthetics over effectiveness.
That's like your opinion, lady.
If the gun was broken, then the killer would have no reason to bring it with him. And yet, they did.
Watch it be for the aesthetic.
It's easy to assume the killer was the one holding it.
To reiterate, both.
Oh, that's why there was blood on the gun. She was maybe holding it. She was gripping it tightly. That's what caused her fingernails to bleed.
Okay.
No, that's wrong!
Oh wait, tablet?
Stop that thought right there. If we keep assuming the killer had the gun, we'll end up running in circles.
What? You think the killer was unarmed?
No, they were definitely armed. With the knife. The reason they didn't use the gun is probably because they never had it to begin with.
But then, who did?
Easy. The victim.
Smug.
Whoa, the dummy had the gun?
If it wasn't the killer, it has to be her. She must have brought it to the closet. She was probably carrying it before the murder, but dropped it when the killer attacked her.
Oh, I guess that makes some sense.
Complete sense.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. Aren't you overlooking something?
Huh?
Huh? His face.
The victim was stabbed from the front, meaning she could have seen the killer coming, correct? If so, why didn't she shoot them?
A stealth attack! I bet the killer memorized her AI movements.
That girl must have been killed before she had the chance to defend herself.
More
That's
likely
not
than
technically
Cassidy's.
There's evidence of a struggle between the victim and the killer.
Where? Oh, the fingernails. Wait, what?
I don't see how this proves anything. We need evidence that the victim managed to wound the killer. Do you have any?
Ooh, life void.
This is it.
Got it.
We found dry blood under the victim's fingernails, which implies she was clawing at her attacker. Of course, no explanation is definitive without photo proof of the killer, but I'm confident this is what happened.
Why would you resort to scratching when you're carrying a gun?
True.
Did something get in the way of her using it?
Wonder if that killer stole it from her.
If they stole it, why would they
I've seen or
stab
heard
it?
him coming from the hallway at the very least.
Why do you think she was in the hallway?
That's where the fight happens, right?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. How can we be sure the fight happened there?
Maybe the fight started in the hallway, and after it ended, her body was dragged into the closet.
That wouldn't be
If that
true.
happened, shouldn't there have been streaks of blood on the floor?
I agree.
Or in the hallway?
Drag marks? Can't say I saw any.
It was merely a jest. No need to take it so seriously.
Instead of dragging the victim, what if the killer carried her? I don't know why they would want to do that, but it would explain the lack of drag marks.
The killer would
But
be covered in
then-
blood.
Wouldn't the killer have been covered in...
Blood. Aye.
And
It
then
should
some
have
of it
gone
may have
everywhere.
dripped on the floor too.
Those wounds were brutal. A few inches deep, I reckon. Carrying her would have done nothing to stop the blood flow.
Good point.
Carrying
He was
makes more
obviously
sense than
killed in
dragging
the
though.
closet. That's where the blood was.
Yes, you're right. I'm so sorry for derailing the conversation.
No, it's alright.
Moving on.
That fight.
Mark has not
The
spoken yet.
victim had the gun, but she was overpowered?
If she wanted to, she could have just... You know...
It doesn't make
Wait,
much
is this
sense,
referencing Sayaka or
does it?
something? Maybe not. And Grace is still knocked out. I'm glad I know everyone's names at the top of my heart now.
That
Maybe.
slimy killer pulled a fast one and knocked the gun out of her hand.
By the sounds of it, those two did have a crazy tussle.
But she still carried a gun.
Mark squeaks the first
Oh,
time.
Why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see them coming.
Maybe she thought the killer was her friend? I know I wouldn't hurt a friend.
She tried clawing their eyes out.
Why did the victim not shoot her attacker? I don't know, actually. Everyone's got a theory.
That's slimy killer.
Why didn't she shoot?
I bet that girl didn't even see.
I got it.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed it. I would have guessed like Diana's one, like emotionally, but realistically that wouldn't happen.
John actually has a point. The
Okay,
victim
John,
probably couldn't
not
see
Jean.
what was going on. According to the tablet, she suffered chemical burns to the face and eyes. That sort of injury would have effectively blinded her. Also, inside the janitor's closet, there was a large empty bottle.
But, oh,
of bleach.
maybe they splashed it on
That's
her.
probably the chemical that caused the burns.
Blinded? With bleach? That's horrible.
All that pain, yet she still managed to fight back.
She sure put up a struggle. Without a gun, I guess the next best thing was her hands.
So the killer was definitely the one who blinded her.
Indeed. Knowing she had a gun, he blinded her to make her less dangerous. Then, when he pinned her against the door and stabbed her, she tried to retaliate.
Until eventually dying from her wounds.
Jeez, this is brutal. Couldn't they have toned down the violence?
The
Danganronpa
past
is
in
all
the
about
past,
the violence.
and we can't change that. All we can do is solve her untimely death, eh?
I mean, by the sounds of it, we've already figured it out, right?
No. Not yet.
What?
Seriously?
I just love the new sound effects.
But we've already discussed so much.
We know she was armed. We know she was blinded. We figured out how she died. How is this not a closed case?
Please understand, I'm proud of everyone's hard work so far. Because of you, we're one step closer to bringing the victim justice.
This was never about the dummy.
However, we should think of this case like an equation.
Oh,
Knowing
true.
how it works is only half the struggle. Now we need to figure out why.
As in, the motive?
You're on the right track.
Wolfgames just sounds so supportive.
You speak like we have any information on the killer. The man's a stock image. He doesn't
Stock
even have a
image?
name. What are we supposed to ascertain from that? That he's a non-character?
Not every answer will be written down for you. Sometimes actions speak louder than...
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold
Oh,
the
Grace is
phone.
back.
Grace?
Whoa, what? Since when was Grace back to normal?
Right now, soybean.
Soybean. Yeah, the soybean's back.
Watching you guys try to solve this mystery has been like watching a dumpster catch on fire. I guess all that smoke must have clouded your vision, 'cause there's a big-ass elephant in this room.
An elephant in the room?
That's giving us too much credit.
So the killer incapacitated that girl. She had a gun, it makes total sense. Problem is, you've yet to explain how he used the bleach.
Makes sense.
I sort of assumed he spilled it on the victim.
With the bucket.
Right. He just tipped the bottle over her.
No.
That bottle is where the bleach came from, sure. But I doubt the bottle itself was involved in the murder. When we found it, it was neatly ordered on a shelf near the back of the closet. The gun and knife were just thrown on the floor. So it's weird this weapon was handled so differently.
Do you think the killer just poured the contents of that bottle into something else?
Maybe.
Sure, before the actual
The
murder
bucket.
took place, I'd say.
And what is this something else? Go on, explain it before this dumpster turns molten.
She's really stubborn about this, but I get the point she's trying to make. Before we move on from the subject, we need to make sure it's logical and completely sound. Oh my god, he looks so out of it.
Well, if the original bottle's been emptied, where'd the bleach go?
Into another bottle?
What about a container? There were a bunch in the closet.
I bet the killer had a secret water gun. So when the victim came in, pow! He squirted her in the eyes.
Hey! The ink vanishes when the battle's over.
Call the fire brigade, Grace.
Well, the bleach...
Into...
What about a
Prove Ingrid.
I got it.
She's correct. The killer put the chemicals in a bucket. Or, more specifically, the same bucket we found at the crime scene. After all, it reeked of bleach. If the killer didn't use it to transport bleach, what else did they use it for? Personal cleaning? I doubt it.
Yo, that makes sense.
Good debating skills, using rhetorical questions.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Okay, cool. So, how'd the killer use that bucket to spill bleach in the victim's eyes?
It would be a fairly heavy bucket, so
Would
it's
it?
unlikely he threw it on her.
She'd shoot him before he even had the chance. Use your brain, mate.
Of course, my apologies.
Soybean. So, question: how is the killer able to get a hefty bucket of chemicals into the victim's eyes? Oh, propped up against the door. Right, Cassidy. That's why the chair was used.
Even if he did manage to splash her, the girl should have sustained intense facial burns. However, aside from her eyes, her face was relatively untouched.
Well, if you check the tablet, it said she had burns to the scalp, too.
That means above the head. It's not the
To
forehead.
the scalp? How does that work? Unless those chemicals came from above?
Above? It's probably what Cassidy was investigating. Above, there's a step ladder.
Did the killer somehow suspend the bucket in the air? Maybe there was a mechanism that made it tip over when someone entered the room.
Where's this bucket supposed to be again?
Above. Which... well... could mean anything.
Was the killer hiding above the door frame?
There's no way they were up there. There's nothing for them to sit or hold on to. Not to mention, they couldn't have stabbed her from up there.
And if there's no place
I
for
find
the
Damon
killer
really
to
interesting.
sit, then there's no place for the bucket to sit.
Unless you take into account the size difference.
Eh?
The space above the entrance might not be able to support a person, but it could still support something as small as a bucket.
I knew it!
And that thing supporting the bucket?
The killer wanted two things: for the bucket to be above the victim, and for it to spill on her when she entered the room. In other words, we need to balance the bucket, but on what? The door! Not on the stepladder. Please not on the stepladder. Don't think it's that. The knife, obviously.
I got it.
The got it, Sprat.
I don't know how we overlooked this, but I've got it. The killer just balanced the bucket on the door.
Like in those water bucket pranks people film?
Exactly. When the victim came into the room, she pushed open the door and caused the bucket to fall on her. This would make it so she couldn't shoot back or even get a chance to see her assailant.
The bucket may be over her head.
When the bucket hit the ground, it probably rolled away. That'd explain why we found it a couple.
Wait, then what happened to all the bleach?
That is a possibility, yes.
It sounds like the best conclusion.
There's just one problem. How was the killer able to reach that high?
Step ladder.
Unless they were abnormally tall, it'd be difficult to place something on top of that door.
Well, let's use that as our next point of discussion. How did the killer set up this trap?
To balance that bucket on the door, the killer would need to reach pretty high. Was there anything at the crime scene that they could have used to boost? If I can answer that, it will add further credibility to my theory.
This is it.
Oh, that's really good. They have a yes-no feature in case you accidentally click on the wrong
There
one.
was a stepladder hiding behind the closet door. The killer probably used that. After climbing it, they could position the bucket right on top of the door.
Figures.
Mark just looks so tired every now and
My
again.
precious stepladder? You think the bad guy used my super duper obvious stepladder?
Yes.
Match point. Occam's razor.
Yes, it appears our killer didn't care much for subtlety. No matter how obvious it seems, it's the only answer that makes sense.
It was the only knickknack of its kind, too. If there's something else that killer could have used, it's escaping me.
I see. It makes sense with what we've got so far. But I'm not done yet. I still have one last question for you apes.
Please just leave us alone. Oh, I'm so tired.
Tired from all the standing.
Hey, don't be like that. Grace may be loud, but her questions have really helped our discussion.
Go, Diana.
Anyway, what was the killer doing when that bucket poured onto the girl's head?
He obviously didn't just stand there and observe.
I have to agree, but they must have been hiding somewhere, waiting for it to arrive. Somewhere nearby, I assume. Maybe, like, behind the door? Where's the killer hiding? Probably inside.
I got it.
Oh.
I've got it. The killer was hiding in the back of the closet. If he was pressed up against the furthest shelf and facing the entrance, there'd be a diagonal path between him and his victim. I say diagonal because that's the only way you can make a direct charge forward. Also, when the victim entered the room, she would have been standing with her back to the hallway, right outside the killer's range. That's why the stab wounds were only made to her chest.
Creating the crime scene we found! Great job, guys! We're actually doing this!
Supportive.
That was the last mystery, right? We must have put everything together now.
Even if it's all fake, I feel really bad for this victim.
It's an ugly sight, but she's no victim.
Huh?
What does that mean?
Well, technically she is, but let's be real. The girl was carrying a gun. She probably provoked the killer, and they killed her in self-defense. It's a clear-cut case of the hunter becoming the hunted, no?
That's no excuse.
Is this Sayaka reference to trial?
What?
There's no justifying murder. Killing a woman is the worst thing a man could do.
You're emanating a sizable amount of emotional tension. Are you okay?
There's no excuse. There never was an excuse. 28 stab wounds! No girl, no person should ever suffer Kara's fate.
28 stab wounds.
Who's Kara?
It was the victim's name! Didn't anyone read the tablet?
No.
I agree with you, dude. But you don't have to shout out your point.
Oi, what's all this about? We figured out the case. Stop trying to drag it on.
No. We're not finished here.
Huh?
Okay, now I just realized Eva
There's
doesn't
no
talk
murder
much now.
without a proper motive. We need to discuss why Kara died.
I am not going this far for a fictional murder case. We aren't looking for a murderer. We're looking for answers, which we have.
Do you turn in a half-finished exam, Winona? An essay without its conclusion? This isn't about efficiency, this is about being right. Or do you, a supposed entrepreneur, not value integrity?
You got roasted. Yeah, she got roasted. Wrong person.
Let's just talk about the motive. There's no harm in doing that, right? Well, what was the motive? Was the killer fighting for their life? Or were they going out of their way to murder?
Maybe the gun freaked him out.
If I was in the killer's shoes, I'd definitely be nervous. Thing is, while acting out of self-defense is possible, since when does it look like this?
When does 28 stab wounds count as in
liken it
defense?
to a crime of passion.
Something done on impulse?
What if they were frightened? A spooky thing might have set them off big time.
That's wrong. There's no way this was done in self-defense. No matter what excuse the killer uses, it doesn't change the fact they have blood on their hands.
Yo, bud. You seem a little pressed.
Silence! I won't allow
Oh
this!
no, Wolfgang, are you okay? Wow, things are getting emotional. Yeah, they are. Oh, pathos. The pathos. Oh! During non-stop debates, emotionally charged commentary will appear as purple text. You can absorb these statements by hovering over them. Interesting. Let's find a weak spot. This is like a new thing. You spin me
Kill
up.
Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this.
Take chill pill, man.
Probably accidental slow
You
down.
expect me to stay calm? This was the sadistic killing of one of humanity's brightest.
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals.
I agree with Eva.
This could have been self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive, deserves to be brought to justice!
You okay, Wolfgang?
But how can we do that? There's no reason to trust you. If you have no...
Oh wait, no, it's this mechanic. But
So
instead of
says the
highlighting
ultimate
the arguments, you highlight the speech. Was this murder justified, or was it truly unforgiving? I feel like I have an obligation to find the truth.
To kill Kara so easily and without restraint. There is no way to justify this. Expect me to stay sadistic killing of one of humanity?
We shouldn't make a lot of assumptions about the killer's morals and self-defense.
You don't even know the damn killer. Just the crime scene they left behind.
This killer, dead or alive,
Wait, what would we use this bullet for?
deserves to be brought to justice!
I can't figure it out.
But how can we do that? There's no reason.
No, that's wrong!
Pathos counter.
Expertise shouldn't be overlooked here. If there's anyone to believe, it's the lawyer.
Say what?
This is one like half
Wolfgang has
trusting.
spent his life in the courtroom and on the crime scene. He'd understand the criminal mind in ways we can't possibly imagine. He was even emotionally invested in a murder case he'd never seen before. If his lawyer's intuition tells us that the killer was in the wrong, then we have no reason to disagree. We're all ultimates for a reason. We need to trust in talent.
Oh, really
Well
nice.
spoken. If Wolfgang is adamant about the killer's intentions, we should have faith in him.
Yeah! Wolfgang's clearly trying his best for us.
Let's trust in the lawyer and his bargain bin buddy.
Bargain bin bunny.
If it means going home, then new guys convinced me.
Right on! Team Wolfgang all the way!
Thank you all for your support.
Oh no, now I don't want any of them to die. And then Noah.
Well, Eva, do you still disagree?
Even if I did, it's not worth pursuing.
You should quiet down.
Does this mean we're done here? Hey! We're disembodied boys! We
Disembodied
figured out
voice.
your stupid case! Now let us leave!
My.
Oh, you're finally done. In all honesty, I stopped paying attention a long time ago.
What? We only went through this case because of you.
Silly me, I have a short attention span. So, just for my own benefit, why don't you summarize?
Oh, well, we have the little trial images. Like what is it called? I don't remember the name.
It'll be good practice.
Maybe we got something wrong.
Fine. I'll do as you ask. I'll present the truth.
We'll present the truth together.
Yeah, Cassidy.
Let's dig into
Oh, if multiple people work on this together, that'd be great. Oh, closing argument's the name. During closing argument, you must summarize the case from start to finish. Naturally, your medium will be a comic book. Since the trial has relatively good understanding of the case, some parts of the comic are still. Seems your peers have glossed over smaller details, judging by the gaps in the story. To fill these gaps, you've been provided a collection of stock panels. Use WASD to navigate stock. Hover the mice over the relevant gap and press the left key to insert the panel. If you wish to undo your selection, press spacebar again. Don't forget the Q and E's, those how you flip between pages. By the way, gaps will reveal a hint if you hover over them. Now stand up straight and fix that tie. We got a case to solve. Where did the killer hide? What was the victim carrying? Accused him of carrying a gun. What did the killer pour into the bucket? Bleach. How did the killer reach the doorframe? This chair in the other panel. Going up the step ladder. How's the trapped chicken? Oh! The victim clawing neck thing is quite brutal.
Danganronpa is all about the violence.
While being stabbed 28 times, she decides to claw at his neck.
I got it.
I like the little got it sprite as well. Or is that the same one?
The victim was Kara Koshkinen, the ultimate teacher's aide.
Oh, the music!
Right before her death, she was wandering around the academy carrying a large assault rifle. That was probably when our unnamed killer, who was armed with a knife, spotted her.
And decided he'd put her to eternal rest.
Oh, I like now. Other people are gonna walk. Other people are going to join in.
Inside that little janitor's closet, where he began hatching a deadly scheme.
Aye, they needed a way to surprise the victim, who was better armed. The killer grabbed a bottle of bleach from the closet and poured its contents into a bucket.
That's because they wanted to blind Kara by splashing the bleach in her
And now
eyes.
Diana.
Sneaky little bastard.
Hey, Grace. Oh!
But to do that, they would need to set a trap and catch the victim by surprise.
Desmond.
The killer moved a stepladder behind the closet door and climbed up it to reach the door frame. There, they carefully placed the bucket.
Wait a minute.
That way, when the victim opened
What's
the door,
happening to the alarm
bucket
clock
would
on the
empty
top?
its contents all over her.
After completing this setup, the killer retreated to the
Ulysses.
far end of the janitor's closet and waited for the victim's arrival.
Oh, that's how they attracted her.
The killer could have made noise to attract the victim's attention. Either way, the victim tried to open the door.
And, the bleach splashed all over her. Her scalp, face, and eyes were severely burned.
Ouch!
Legit. No.
The killer leapt from his hiding place and began viciously attacking Kara. In his fit of rage and cruelty, he stabbed her from the front 28 times.
While being stabbed, the victim tried to fight back by clawing at the killer. This left the dried blood under her fingernails.
Would it be the killer's blood or her blood
However,
under
it
the
didn't deter
fingernails?
the killer, and the victim eventually died.
At present, we don't have enough information to reveal the killer's true identity, but their actions haven't been forgotten. That is the truth behind this case.
So it tells me that this isn't the proper truth.
Well, are you satisfied?
A measly 3 acts. Poor Horace would be beside himself.
Who the hell is...
I don't know who Horace is.
No one cares! We've done your
I like that
end of
Kai
the
sprite, just to
bargain.
mention.
Now let us out already!
That is what I promised, isn't it? Alright, I'll let you leave this room. But before I do, may I be frank with
Something's
you
gonna
all
be like a
present?
twist.
This entire time I've been hiding behind a speaker, afraid to show my face. My heart tells me you'll react cruelly to it. However, my head, it raises a compelling argument. Who cares what others think? Shouldn't I get to have a little fun once in a while? Yes.
Maybe he's not supposed to
Let's do
reveal
away
himself.
with these silly boundaries already. It's time we meet face to face.
Face to face.
What was that all about?
Everybody, look over there!
Oh no. Oh! I thought you'd enter by the door. Hey, it's this artwork. Oh yes, the tweening. Oh, he's breathing.
Toss away those pickaxes, peasants! The walls have finally crumbled. What will you do now that you've reached the other side? Will you treasure
Ideology.
this new land, serve it, or will you set it ablaze?
The mugshots to the left is
Have you made
creepy.
your choice?
Yo, what the fuck is going on?
Language! This person, his voice. He's behind me. Where is he?
Are you the speaker guy?
Speaker guy? No. You don't address your superiors like that.
Oh, he's got red gloves.
Within the halls
I thought
of
there
this
was an X.
academy, you'll refer to me by one name, and one name only. His Highness, the great and powerful Tozu, host of the Killing Game.
Tozu. Damon's like, meh. Oh, he's sorry. Killing game? Class shall end. Tozu broke his promise. I think. Unless we got the answer wrong.
Well done.
Or you can call me Tozu for short.
Hey.
Hey, what do you mean killing game?
The show must go on.
Did you really think the story would end once we reach the climax of the case? Quite the contrary. This is only the beginning. Of what? Oh, David's actually scared this time.
Why the long face?
Isn't it obvious? You, my dear subordinates.
Blood is
Are going to kill each other. That's like, that's not funny. No, funny.
But then...
But you said we can go home if we solve the mystery. He's probably gonna say, you got it wrong. Oh, an incentive.
What?
What are you talking about? You lied to us. And I agree.
Rubbish.
Lied? Oh, no, absolutely not. You guys got it wrong, that's all. I'm a fair man, a man sworn to the truth. And if I recall correctly... someone didn't agree, maybe? Oh.
You... Not okay!
That's full of lies. There you go. Losing control of your voice. That's how you know you lost the argument. Logic is a cowardly thing like that. He'll jump ship the moment it's confronted with a challenge. He didn't lie, did he? He said he never lies, but he manipulates. It's a different thing. So when he said this was Eden Garden's Academy, what am I doing believing someone like him? There's no other way around it. He's lying.
Dude!
Hey, why didn't you tell us about your dumb game sooner? In Watch You Peasants Run Away, there's nowhere to run.
Pathetic.
I can't host a game without any contestants.
Please don't.
Just look at the Danganronpa community. Everyone would be happy to play.
I just want to go home.
I want to be with my family. Aw. Please, just let me go home.
There's no need to
There's no need to cry, Miss Toner. Huh? We're all civil here. No one is going to kill simply because they've been ordered to. What's this? The peasant has a rebuttal. An effective one.
Let's see.
A match between unprepared, unfit players. You could hardly call that a match. In much the same way, this game you proposed, this killing game between students who don't have the heart to kill.
Nonsense.
Do you seriously think we'll all abandon our morals so quickly?
Hey!
Yeah, that's totally right. We're like super boring people. We don't have what it takes to do something like that.
Indeed.
My heart is terribly soft, softer than the most delicate pieces of mochi. When I see a fly in the room, I catch the poor deer in a jar and return it to nature.
I would never.
My mochi heart would melt otherwise.
I see.
I see. That's your argument, isn't it? Well, all of you guys have committed some kind of felony. Muhaha.
How interesting.
So, what has you so convinced? What do you mean? What makes you think the people in the room lack the heart to kill? Do you even know anything about them besides their names and ultimate talents?
Pathetic.
If you do, then tell me, regarding killing, where do they stand? Are they okay with murder if it's for the greater good? Are they okay with murder if it guarantees their survival? Is this where they currently stand on the issues the same way as they're willing to stand? Go on. You got plenty of hours to get to know everyone. There's plenty of time you learn their life stories, right? It's interesting ideology, but as well, I feel like it's flawed, but I just can't think of it at the moment. Should I take that as a no? Goodness, what a surprise.
Plot twist.
Not. You wouldn't be here, all dressed in that fancy suit, if you were so naive.
Such a sport.
Oh, and one more thing. That trial you just did, that wasn't your preparation for the killing game. Oh, that was your... How? All you do is make us play detective.
Plot twist.
And for a good reason. Ooh! If one of you is killed, the remaining students will participate in the true class trial. Your objective here is simple, uncover the culprit, if you can. Using evidence you've gathered during the investigation, you will argue who you believe committed the murder. The result will be decided by popular vote. If you choose the right person, they alone will be executed and the killing game will continue. However, if you choose the wrong person, the guilty party will be set free and the rest of you will be executed instead. Those are the rules of the game. Everyone understand? All of us will be executed? That's not fair!
Isn't this lovely?
Really, I think it's one of our most beautiful rules. Everyone has an incentive to participate in the game, innocent or otherwise.
What's happening?
That's insane. You're treating us like pigs to slaughter.
Such
nonsense. All of you have a chance to survive this game. Do you think the common butcher is so merciful? True. By the way, if no guilty party ever escapes, this killing game will end when there's only 2 people left. You may want to remember that, or maybe you don't care. It depends on what kind of person you are. Out of 16 people here, only 2 would be allowed to survive.
No shot.
2 people. That's hardly better if someone gets away with murder.
Well done.
I know, that's what makes it so funny. Most of you will die, no matter what, and yet every passing child, you're killing for life.
The show must go
That exact mindset is what causes more murders to happen. Aren't those rules silly, brilliant? I both tell us to read the little.
I have an appetite.
Why didn't I not speak that properly? Aren't these rules simply brilliant? A perfect test for the limits of human compassion.
I have an appetite.
I can't
For
wait to see you
destruction.
all in action. Nyahaha. Donk. The madman's loud laughter was suddenly cut off by... Yo, Grace!
I've said it a million times, you mangy fucking mutt! I want nothing to do with this stupid
Go,
game!
Grace!
Ow, 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 ow! Stop it!
Everyone beat him up!
Since you've made it clear you won't listen to reason, I'll just make sure you have no arms to kill with!
Do you even listen to when I talk? I'm not the one doing the killing. It's you lot who are...
Grace drove her fist directly into his stomach. Everyone worked. She followed it with another blow and another. Go, Grace! And when it looked like she wasn't going to be satisfied until he was dead, I saw it. From out of nowhere, a tiny red dot appeared on Grace's face.
Hey! Stop already! There's a...
But before we could say anything... Oh! The sound of a gunshot echoed in our ears. You still alive? Grace released the man from her grip. Speechless, she moved her hands to her cheek, which had been nicked by the stray bullet. Oh my. We all looked in the direction that the shot came from. The shooter stood silently by the pillar, a trail of smoke rising from the back of her mask. The design was a panther instead of the goat, but it was clear that she was working with him. You shot at her!
For real?
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. Oh, now... Wait, it's a reference! Everyone slowly swept away from Tozu, suddenly fearing for their lives. Ugh. What a shocking and unnecessary display of violence.
You think?
You think? I was talking about the golfer woman. Why? Now you become acquainted with our enforcer, Mara. If any of you kids try to jeopardize the killing game, such as attacking me, she'll be there and put an end to your shenanigans.
Pardon me.
Even though she missed her shots? Haha. That was just a warning. I assure you, it would be unwise for her to test her sharpshooting abilities.
In any case...
Regardless, I finally have an answer to your previous question. Meh? You asked me if I knew anything about my friends besides their names and talents.
No matter.
Truthfully, I don't, but I'll continue to trust them as long as they do, because they're ultimates. Huh? They are charged with the betterment of society. They've proven themselves to be able to simple acts of self-improvement. We will not succumb, even if you trap us, fire guns at us, and force us to endure what?
We will not succumb.
Endure courtroom procedures. He's right. Grace has faded away. Grace was trying to compose herself, clearly still shocked by her run-in with death.
Don't test me.
No matter how weird these guys are, we're talented. Do you think an ultimate would fall for this? That's right. My friends and I have way too much to live for and too much to achieve. We don't throw any away for your killing game. Go, Diana.
Don't get it mixed up.
We're all going to escape. We have to. One by one, the students raised their voices in solidarity with Wolfgang. All of them were so confident in what they were saying, so willing to blindly put faith in each other. And for some reason, it made me sick. Bruh.
My.
Never underestimate the strength of human connection. I am quite familiar with this idea.
Aye.
What kind of captain would I be if I can't even handle a small crew of 15? Small? What is this horrible feeling of contempt? What I feel like when everyone else seemed hopeful? No. This force inside me was answered by another. Eve.
No.
You've got it all wrong. The students turned their attention towards Eva, surprised by her words. Eh? Do you actually believe no one here will try to kill? You're really naive. I don't know how you make it as a lawyer. Well, instead of resorting to random ad hominem attacks...
It's the truth.
Posing time. Well, instead of resorting... why don't you explain your reasoning?
It's the truth.
It's obvious. Compared to normal people, ultimates are more prone to killing, not less. Living with constant praise from the public has ruined our self-with-self. If we need an example, just look at our room.
What a joke. Look.
In the outside world, ultimates do anything to further their own goals. The same is probably true here. Once you realize your dreams can only be achieved if you escape, you're resolved to murder.
Can't you see?
If you continue to convince all the people to trust each other, they'll only become more vulnerable. Unless that was your plan all along. Is it possible you want to make everyone vulnerable? So that it'll be easy for you to kill them? That's
enough.
That's enough. Suddenly, Ingrid stepped in front of Wolfgang protectively. Wolfie's done nothing wrong. He's given us all a vote of confidence. This is something we all needed.
Please.
So stop trying to turn us against each other. Please, we're all supposed to be in the same class. This horrible feeling grew stronger as the other students admonished Eva. It grew stronger and stronger, and I knew I had to say something. Eva's right. Huh?
No!
Damien! I know, Damon. Not you too!
I know.
Look, I get it now. You want to make the situation less scary for everyone. But Eva made a good point. And then Grace in the background's like, no, she didn't. All of us have a clear motivation to leave this place, even at the cost of other people's lives. Whether it's to see our family again, or for the sake of our talents.
Don't say that!
I would never kill anybody. You won't, but what if someone else would?
That's not it.
Dana, you yourself are adamant that you have too much to achieve. Don't you see how that's playing into the masked man's hands? Dana's just now broken inside. This whole we're all ultimates thing is pretty inane anyway. After meeting all of you, it's clear none of us have the same goals.
Hold on.
What are you insinuating? Don't we all carry the same obligation to improve the world we live in? His question enraged me more than anything that had been said before. I could no longer express my true feelings.
That's wrong.
Look, the child barely made nowadays, alright? Most ultimates are just dull associated over the pointless hobby. Their talents don't contribute anything in the world. The only thing they're capable of is leeching off the public attention for their own goals. Ouch. Mark's suspicious. Hasn't spoken much.
You've got to be kidding me.
You gotta be kidding me. Running a business that feeds millions is pointless.
No.
Some of you are exception, obviously. But come on, there's no way the rest of you can improve the world we live in with your niche fixations.
That was very...
Don't you mean the rest of us? You're the ultimate too. Yeah, what makes you so special? I can feel the words worming their way into my soul. What makes you so special? Interesting. Well, I can actually achieve many things with my talent. I can argue policy, consider ethic and morality.
Yeah.
Better yet, I was the one who got you guys through the trial.
Really?
Isn't it really what happened? I remember all of us helping out.
Shrimp?
Shrimp? Well, let's see what's going on. You think you're better than us just because you say words no one else understands? What kind of stuff is relative? Just what dragster is. What's your step? least you trip and fall from the unparalleled heights of your vanity.
Not good enough.
I'm disappointed in you. Not mad, just disappointed. How are you concerned about making yourself look so good when we're in the middle of the death game?
The hell?
Wait, I wasn't trying to. There's no use, they turned against me, hurling obscenities, scowling, or simply shaking their heads.
Isn't this lovely?
Ooh, do I sense anger, hatred, an unsearchable sense of blood first? Well, I save it for later. I'm the only person who spilled blood in the courtroom. The elevator will take you back to the killing game arena. They cleaned up the crime scene and prepared a dorm room for each of you.
Get lost.
Thanks. Now can you get lost?
Good evening.
Okay. Okay. He returned to his podium with the masked woman trailing close behind. The bizarre mechanisms that brought him into the room lowered the two of them into the ground in her sight. Bye-bye. Suspicious Kai. Alina sad. Oh, Eloise. Diana is sad, being broken.
Hey.
Still, we're not going to kill anyone, right, guys? No matter what happens, we're all going to make it out of here, okay? It was only when the madmen had left that it truly began to sink in. Yo, it's the scene! I'm trapped in a killing game with people who despise me. Oh god. How did this happen? I just wanted to help. I wanted to make sure we didn't trust each other too easily. And now I'm being treated like the bad guy. Will these people practice what they preach? Will they really refuse to kill? I can't trust anyone here. Wait, what's Mark doing in the background? For better or worse, it's me versus them. So cute, the beginning of the end. The beginning of an unfaithful nightmare, so unrelenting despair. The beginning of the killing game. Oh, is it? They're gonna introduce the trailer with this? Wait, they may have something different. I found something interesting on Desmond. Although his flashlight is holding a gun, he carries... Oh. He carries a bow instead. Like, the arrows for a bow. Oh. Oh, it's the apple. Close. Ooh. So pretty. Thank you for watching.